How did that happen?
We're having a pint this weekend, and not the kind of pint you get drunk off, the kind of pint that makes you want to go ride. Check it out! Right, I'm heading to Antwerp to go and pick up a OneWheel Pint. I really want to know the difference between the XR and the Pint. I already own an XR myself, but I really want to have that feeling of riding the Pint for a whole weekend. So let's go and check this out. Electric Lifestyle used to be here. I was pretty sure I was at the right spot. His car is here, so let's have a look if he's available, because I think he moved from this box to another one. I hope. Yes, we found it. I really want to thank Alain from Electric Lifestyle for hooking me up with the board for the weekend. It was really nice, thank you dude. And if you want to try one yourself, you can go to the shop to test one or even rent one for the weekend there. So check it out, electriclifestyle.eu for more info. Alright, this is my first ride ever with the Pint. It's a lot more playful and it goes around really easy. So let us cruise around Antwerp and see how this thing performs. Footpads are a lot smaller, so that's a little getting used to coming from an XR, but yeah, it's really nice and playful. That's the word, playful. And I stranded in Heestopdenberg because the train couldn't go any further. Normally I need to be in the next village, but apparently a truck lost his load on the tracks and we couldn't get any further. So I will give this board, the OneWheel Pint, a little test. I have 75% of battery left and I need to go for 7 kilometers. So I hope with the good weather we will make it. Otherwise I will probably have to walk a while. We'll see how that goes. Follow me. All right. Let's go. I don't know my way around here, so we'll have to make sure that we take the shortest route as possible. I will also keep it at a cruising speed so I don't over engage the motor and try to save as much power as possible. See you on the road. Luckily everything's going up and down here in the neighborhood, so I should be fine. I trust this thing all the way to get me home, so let's go. I'm about halfway now, just getting off the board to give my feet a little bit rest, and I'll quickly have a look at the stats, where we are with the battery, because I don't know if I'm gonna get there. I still have 50% and I'm already 5 kilometers into the ride. So yeah, that gives me a range of 9 kilometers, so looking good. Let me see if I can show this to you guys. Ooh, back at the village. Woohoo! Got back to the village, now we still have to get to the farm. Holy moly, I just got home. I made it with just the charge that I still had, so I think it's about 8 to 9 kilometers without even having a full battery. So I'm impressed by this little thing. So I have the stats available here. I still have 33% of battery left. I rode 8.1 kilometer and it says it still has a range of 7 kilometer. So I could maybe have done double. I don't think so. If the battery is running low, then you don't have full power, but cruising really helped. My maximum speed was 20 kilometers per hour and it still got me home. So really nice one. I didn't expect that one. Ooh, a helicopter drop. I didn't expect that one to happen, and I'm really glad that I didn't have to carry it. Although the Pint is a lot lighter, you just don't want to carry these things around because they're made to ride and to have fun. Alright, sun's out, so about time to give the Pint a decent test run. So there's also different modes available. I have the riding mode not change. Oh, we can't change the riding mode while driving, so I'll have to get off. Zip. Okay. So we have quite a few different riding modes going on. We have Skyline, we have Elevated, we have Pacific, and Redwood. The shop owner at Electric Lifestyle mentioned that I should put it in Skyline, the most aggressive mode, because I'm used to riding an XR, and yeah, just to get a good throttle and a good go at it, set it in Skyline. So let's try that. I always put my camera in fisheye mode when I shoot with the stick, because I really want to get the whole picture and I really want to get all in that image. So always make sure that you have that nice and white image going on. See how this thing turns, because it has a much more round wheel, so let's give it a go. How did that happen? Strange, man. Leaning into it. That's something I did notice with this Pint, is that the sensors are a lot more sensitive, and I kind of have a skate stance going on. I kind of have this stance that has been in my body for a long while, and this doesn't work that well for the Pint. I've noticed you really have to put your feet all over the sensors to be able to get it to go. Like even with my XR, I can do this with my hands and it has no issue in starting up, and this one really doesn't pick on that easily, so something to take into account. It's a bit more of a bumpy ride than the XR, but overall it's very steady and it does what it needs to do. It's grippy, and I really like the Pint because it's lighter, it's smaller, and it's a lot more playful. But for those long rides like trails, and I really go on these rides in the forests where you really need to have some more stability, and I find that in the XR. This one is very playful. I think it's ideal for like people who live in the city and who just want to cruise around and just get around really easy. For that, it's a really good board. But I'm out here in the more in nature, and the XR just lives up more to that kind of lifestyle. That's why I bought the XR. But I'm really glad to test this because yeah, it's loads of fun to try different boards. Although this Pint has very flat foot plates, it's really stable underneath your feet. With the XR, sometimes when I carve, I really notice that my heel comes loose from the board. And that's something that I don't really experience with the Pint. And like the XR even has that little concave going on, but still the Pint is a lot more yeah, just catchy to the feet when you're carving. So that's really nice. It's very stable and you have loads of control in that way. That's like really strange. Did you notice when I fell before? It's kind of like the one wheel slipped from underneath me, just yeah, not reacting and just going full on straight out. I don't know what's happened, but that's really strange because I just had it again while riding, while carving, and the one wheel just stopped riding and just slipped from underneath me. That's really dangerous stuff, man. I did never experience that with my XR, and this makes it feel really uncomfortable, and I don't really feel safe in that way because that's like a tricky thing that I'd never experienced. It's a very nice evening tonight and I'm heading out to my local forest to give the Pint a little run in the forest. I've been riding around on the streets most of the time and I really want to know what it does on some other surfaces and terrain. So let's go and check that. I do notice that the footpads, because of being flat and getting dirty, that they get a little bit more slippy than on the XR, so something to take into mind. This thing rides really smooth on trails too. I noticed that the tire pressure is a bit harder than what I'm used to, and I really feel the bumps a lot easier. It's easier to bonk also. I noticed if I touch any roots or something like that, I can easily get this thing off the ground. So that's really nice. You can really play around with this thing, and yeah, to me it's a nice feeling. It's smaller, it's lighter, but it still has that stability that you want if you just cruise around in the forest. So also approved for forest rides. I had a pretty good run on my own on the Pint, and there's more to come. A good friend of mine, Steph, is coming next week to test both boards. He wants to buy one, but he really wants to know how they ride and how they feel. So stay tuned for that. If you want to see some more videos, I'll have them or link them up here, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace!